For newcomers, this is a really good opportunity, not just to get experience, but to build skills, relationships, and confidence that lasts beyond the contract. Just to let everybody know, the views expressed on this show are my own personal opinions. They are based on publicly available job postings. This is only for educational purposes to help people navigate the Japanese job market. Okay, let's take a deep dive into this job post. I found this on gaijinpot.com and the job ID is 157558. If you would like to follow along, the title of this position is Coordinator of International Relations, Tochigi, January/February 2026. So, when looking at this position, the first thing that stands out to me is the salary, to be honest, because it is 230,000 to 250,000 per month. That is the starting salary of a typical ALT with the dispatch company, to be honest. This would not be a salary for someone who is a CIR on the JET program, which you could expect for your first year on the JET program as a CIR to be around 4 million yen in 2026. If you were expecting salaries to be on that level, very sorry, but they're offering 230,000 to 250,000 for a CIR position. However, this is in Tochigi, in the northern area of Tochigi. So it's possible that the living expenses will be a lot cheaper than if you were a CIR in Tokyo. So you have that going for you. But you also still need to have high-level Japanese. You need to have N1 or N2, and that is listed as a requirement. So that means that if you have N3, N4, N5, you could maybe try to apply anyway with N3, but if you have lower level Japanese, it will be very hard for you to be successful in this role, as it has a lot of coordinating tasks, administrative work, working at the municipal office, hosting events off-site, public speaking in Japanese. It is very much a high requirement, a firm one. Another requirement is a driver's license. So it seems like you will be required to drive to different locations. And if you get an interview here, I would recommend asking where are the typical locations that you'll be expected to drive. Is this a Monday to Friday job? Will you be having to drive on Saturday for other events as well? And will you be working as an ALT at all? Is this specifically just a CIR role? Especially with dispatch companies, they tend to be hiring always for ALTs, right? So they may try to ask for you to fill in for an ALT role. So if you don't want to teach English, I think you should definitely find that out early in the interview stage. But a pro here is that your salary is not prorated in any month. And if you're wondering, what does that even mean? For ALTs with certain dispatch companies, some do not get paid during school breaks. For example, if a school has a summer break in August, the ALTs typically don't work that month and they don't get paid for that month. So even if you do have something to work on, you are typically asked to not work. However, maybe dispatch companies are changing that, but when I was working as an ALT, that was the case. The rest of the job description is looking pretty good. You'll be on Shakai Hoken. You can get paid leave from April 2026. And this company offers 24/7 support. If you need any assistance with anything, they seem to really take care of their employees, according to this job ad. But I would definitely try and figure out what are the expectations for your role. Is it working at City Hall? Do you have to work at different schools? How does that work? And I would confirm the prorated salary, that it is not happening for the CIR role, just to be sure, because if your salary is getting prorated, then you will not get a paycheck in August and December, which is really hard to live on at 230,000 yen per month. But I mean, Tochigi does have rent that is much cheaper. Maybe you can get like 50% less on the rent than you would in Tokyo. So that is a plus. The high-level Japanese skill requirement is still a little unfair for the pay that you're getting. This is also a one-year role. So I would say for somebody who is in their early career, if you're currently on JET and you're looking to move into a different role that's more office oriented, this could be a really good opportunity. But just know that if you move to Tochigi, Northern Tochigi, you get this role and you're there for a year, you do need to do interviews in Tokyo if that's where you want to move next after 1 year. And that might be kind of a big commute for you to go in for interviews if you're still working at this position and you're trying to do interviews in Tokyo. That might kind of be difficult when that time comes, but you will have time off in your contract, so you could use that for that case. Also, there are some people who feel that when they take PTO, when they use their UQ, they feel that they need to tell their manager what they're going to be using it for. To be honest, you don't have to tell anybody. You can just say, "Oh, I need to take the day off for private reasons," or "I need to take the day off. I have something to do." You don't have to tell anybody what you're going to be doing on your time off. That's time for you to use for your personal life. Please don't feel pressured that you have to tell anybody. If you really feel like someone is pressuring you at work and they're really trying to ask you over and over, like, "Oh, but what are you going to do on your day off? Oh, it's so exciting. Tell me more. I want to know." Then maybe you can just make up an excuse of, "Oh, I'm just going to clean my apartment," or something. Don't feel pressured that you have to do these things. I know there are some people who do feel that and they want to be honest with everyone, but you just maybe just keep it to yourself. You don't have to tell them everything. I really do feel like this CIR position could lead to meaningful community work and real cross cultural exchange. This is a chance for someone to live in Japan that's maybe not the typical city life and might not feel really rushed. I think it could be a really good opportunity, to be honest. Yes, the salary is much lower than a typical JET CIR salary, but if you can work hard at this position for 1 year, really hone in those skills, get really good at Excel, or if it relates to the next position that you're trying to get after the CIR role, then I would say go for it, to be honest. But if you're looking for something that pays a bit more, then maybe this job is not for you, to be honest, because you also need to invest in getting a car, and that can lead to maybe 40,000 yen extra per month, and you have to pay for the annual Shakai Hoken, which can be around 9 mon, 100,000 yen, depending on your car, if you have a white plate or a yellow plate. So these are things you have to really take into consideration when you're going to be moving somewhere a bit more rural and one where you need a car. But yeah, for those who are interested in this position, good luck. This is on gaijinpot.com and it's for January, February. So I would get on that really quickly. And also you can submit a photo if you want to with your application, but I would keep it really professional if you're going to send a photo, maybe in maybe like a dress up kind of outfit, something like a suit or suit and tie or blouse, something that looks your best in. All right, well, good luck everyone and take care.